Division Dispatches.
Hi, my name is Janis Arnold, Board Development Consultant at the Manitoba School Boards Association. I've asked Floyd Martens, current President of the Association's Executive Board, to join me today to talk about this provincial board that governs the association. The school divisions and districts that are members of the Manitoba School Boards Association are grouped into 6 regions. Each year, the boards that make up each region meet to elect 1 or more directors for a total of 7 representatives on the provincial executive. Other members of the executive include the president and 2 vice presidents who are elected at the association's annual convention each March, and the immediate past president. The 11-member provincial executive governs the association between conventions. So Floyd, I wonder if you would outline for us what the mandate is of the Executive Board for the Manitoba School Boards Association.
From my perspective, the mandate, there's a couple of things that really the executive is focused on. One is to give oversight to the operation of Manitoba School Board Association and the work that it does with member boards to be able to provide them the services and the things that they require from a provincial organization. I think the other thing is to set direction for the organization as we advocate on behalf of school boards and represent school boards throughout Manitoba, and so really to bring their interests to the focus so that we as an association really reflect what the membership has it on its heart, and so that we can advocate for boards from a provincial basis.
If we can delve a little bit more into that mandate, could you tell us a bit more about what the executive does, some of their activities or actions?
The executive sets strategic direction for the associations, particularly for the staff that does a large part of the work of the association, really sets the direction. Some of the strategic priorities, those things that are really most important that we need to focus our energy and attention on as MSBA, as the staff here within our organization. But it also deals with issues that arise on a yearly basis, whether it's dealing with government policy or government legislation that comes out, to begin to raise the voice of school boards in advocating on behalf of them with various stakeholders or with government itself. The executive meets at Manitoba School Board Association office, which is on Provincial, and we meet about 8 times a year, 7 or 8 times. Just depends on regional meetings and where those fit, as far as whether we meet 8 times or not. And that's kind of been the pattern. We've actually reduced by one meeting this last year, trying to space them out a little bit for us. But that's where we meet, and we meet usually one day. Each of those meetings are about a day meeting when we meet together.
What are some of the reasons that a trustee might want to serve on the executive?
I think one of the advantages of being part of the executive is that you're able to see things from a provincial perspective. Most likely in our school divisions, we see it on our divisional basis. We see the issues from a divisional perspective, from our community perspective, where we are, depending on where we are in the province and how our school division is, what's the constituency of it. But we see it from that perspective, and this gives you an opportunity to see things from a much larger perspective, from a provincial perspective, where there is great diversity in our province, great diversity in school boards and the issues that they face, depending on where they are and the unique circumstances of where they are. And so it gives you that exposure to really what happens throughout our province. And so I think it's a real growing opportunity for people who are able to be part of the executive.
How does a trustee get on the executive?
You get elected to be on the executive, and whether it's as a regional director, and there are currently 6 regions on our executive, or as vice president or president. We have 2 vice presidents, one for boards with less than 6,000 students and one for boards with more than 6,000 students. And there's also a past president position as well as far as the executive. But you get elected whether in your region or in the vice president or president positions at convention by the full membership.
What is the process for an individual trustee to bring an issue to the attention of the executive?
For an individual trustee, really it goes through the school boards. It goes through your local board, raising issues at your local board table that you may want to refer or present to the executive, or issues that you want the executive to look at. And so it may be something the board's looking at, and they pass resolutions that gets forwarded to either regional directors who can bring those to the table and be part of the executive process, or to the executive officers, president, vice presidents themselves, or through the staff. And sometimes it's a matter of, maybe as an individual trustee, if there's some concerns you have or issues you may have, it's really contacting Manitoba School Board Association staff and say these are some issues, or contacting either your regional director or other executive officers and say these are some issues that we have, and how do we best deal with this specific issue. Because it may be something that divisions are dealing with on a large scale, not just you as an individual trustee, but divisions are dealing with, or it may be something that's very unique to your circumstance. So guidance could help you there.
Thank you, Floyd.
Division dispatches.